Well then, I guess I'll begin by saying welcome back to the workshop. It's certainly been a while, but the main point of me making this video is I want to address something that I'm sure a lot of you have noticed lately. That being, I've been very much inactive on YouTube and my other pages. And other than the weekly uploads, there really hasn't been a whole lot of activity on my end, which several of you have reached out to me asking where have I been, what's going on, and to give the short answer of things, I've just not had the ambition or the time to really mess with YouTube related matters. And I know the moment some of you hear me say that, you're just going to start freaking out like, oh no, he's given up on YouTube. Oh no, he's calling it quits. That's not the case. I just lately have not had the ambition to mess with it. And I mean, if you go back to like February this year, when I got back to uploading again, I was only doing one video a week. And that was because, lack of time, mainly because time is not something I've had a lot of this year. But I thought to myself, it's like if I can still do at least one video a week that still shows that I'm around, keeps me engaged with my audience, and it's something that I know I can do without basically stressing myself out and being in a time crunch every time I upload something. One video a week seems manageable. Unlike last year there when I was doing 2 to 3 videos a week, this lately I just wanted something that was easier to manage. But, lack of time and ambition, that's one thing. But something happened recently, though, that has just really took away my ambition to mess with YouTube and even hobby-related matters. And that basically is due to a recent event that I missed. Those of you who have followed me for a number of years will know that every year in April, the local fire department holds an annual event at the fire hall there. And this is an event that I've gone to pretty much since they started it over 30 years ago. And it's something I enjoy doing. I enjoy taking all my 1/64 scale stuff to this event to set up and display and show and talk about and spend the day with other people who share a common interest. But unfortunately, this year I didn't make it to that event. And to say I was upset about it would be an understatement. To basically get on what my idea was for all this was this year I wanted to take my 4-foot by 8-foot 1/64 scale display table, which I know I've featured that on the channel a couple times over the years. I wanted to take that. I wanted to take the 1960s pedal tractor I was restoring. Plus, I wanted to build 2 new custom replicas, being a replica of the local fire department's new utility that they had recently got, and also the Dodge Ram from the movie Twisters, which came out last year. And a lot of that was pretty simple. My display table really didn't have anything to do there other than decide what all I was taking to put on it. As for the pedal tractor restoration, most of that was done because I started on it last year. Most of it was done up until painting and assembly. And, because I had even been working on that back in February. As for the 2 custom builds I was doing, the 2 custom trucks, those I didn't get started on until March, which I didn't think was any big deal because I figured, oh, it's just 2 builds. I'll have them done in time, no problem. Unfortunately, number of issues in doing all this. The pedal tractor restoration, I'd say, was the least of my problems because I only had one part for that I didn't get, and that was down to the Postal Service losing it in shipping, which, basically the box of parts that was sent to me by the dealer I received it and there was a big hole in the side of it. Basically, one of the parts had come out and gotten lost, which I contacted the supplier there and they sent me a new one a week prior to the show. But despite that fact, I didn't receive it because the package was going back and forth to all these different, basically floating around in Pennsylvania from facility to facility instead of just delivering it. So come showtime, I didn't have the final part I needed for that pedal tractor, which it was a minor piece. I could have done without it. But in terms of the 2 custom trucks I was building, I ran into a problem with both of them because the one, the retailer I purchased from sent me the wrong truck to begin with. So I had to wait another week to get the correct one. And then the utility that I was building, I don't know what the deal was. I thought the build would have went faster and it didn't. But here it is. We'll skip ahead till the night before the show. The pedal tractor's not done because it's missing that one part. My display table, I had not even half of what I was taking packed yet. I still had other vehicles and such to pack, plus my buildings and the scenery and accessory pieces and such. I didn't have any boxes or containers to put that stuff in, which I always have boxes and such around here, but there wasn't any. I don't know if somebody, everyone else in the household probably took off of them for something, but, my buildings in particular, I can't just throw them in a box and call it a day. They need to be packed properly because some of them are really fragile. But combine the fact that I didn't have that stuff packed and I didn't have anything to pack it with. The fact that those 2 custom trucks I was building weren't done. The pedal tractor was, we might as well say 99.9% done. And the fact that it's 11 o'clock at night and there's all this stuff that's not done yet, I'm thinking to myself, I was honestly getting stressed over it. Which, the whole reason I do all this is because it's something I enjoy. And obviously you want to do what you like. But the truth is, in that moment, the enjoyment was gone. And why do something you don't enjoy? And I'm just thinking to myself, it's 11 o'clock at night. There's so much to do. I don't want to stay up late because I had to be up at basically 6 o'clock in the morning to be at the fire hall by 7. And, looking at all that, I basically told my girlfriend, it's like, I don't think I can go. It's like, and I was upset to say the least because, again, this is something I enjoy going to every year, and to basically put all this time and effort into to try to get all this put together and then at the last minute, nothing's done. It's a real downer basically. And I really do a lot of stuff for this show because, other than a few hours in the evenings, if even that was about the only time I really had to work on stuff. But it was one of those deals, that night when I decided, nothing's done, I'm not going to be able to go, I just thought to myself, it's like, well, I'm just going to have to, cut my losses. So I ended up, going to bed that night, got up the next day, basically moped around the house for pretty much the entire day, went to bed that night. The next day I was dragging just because I still felt miserable for not getting to go to this show. And I'm sure some people are listening to this and they're thinking to themselves, oh, well, you always get the chance next year. Well, next year's not given because the guy who's in charge of the event, he's getting up there in age, and he even said if there's a time where he's not around, they're probably not going to do it that year because I don't think the fire department's going to want to get involved, and nobody else is stepping up to take a weight off his shoulders, even though he's wanted to call it quits in years past. But for me, it's one of those deals too. This is one of very few events that I get to actually get to in a year's time and participate in. Other than this show, there's really no other event like this I get to throughout the year. So, to basically miss this opportunity, again, I don't think there's people who really understand where I'm coming from with all this. But basically, because I missed that event, it's taken away my ambition to really do a whole lot with YouTube and my hobbies and such. And another thing about it that disappoints me too is because I missed this event, I wasn't able to get any photos or videos from it, which, normally I do a yearly upload from this event, which, that was another thing. It's like I look at that and I'm thinking to myself, well, I can't do that now. And like I said, it upsets me that I missed this event. And I don't have the ambition to, do a lot right now. That's not to say that it's gone entirely. It's just lately it's not there. And, part of my problem too is when I look back at this, I'm thinking to myself, it's like in 1 month, I couldn't finish 2 simple custom truck builds. Whereas if you go back to the early 2010s when I was doing custom builds to sell, it's like it was nothing for me to put together 50 of those trucks in a month's time and have them ready for the show in April, plus working on my own stuff. But I'm looking at it now and I'm thinking to myself, it's like, I don't think I have the time or ambition that I did when I was younger. And, that's kind of a major revelation for me. And it kind of brings into question, it's like, do I really have the time for this anymore? Do I really have the ambition to do this? I don't know. That's definitely something that's been on my mind since the beginning of the month. But, basically what I've just told you in this video, that's why I've been inactive on YouTube and my other pages and, Discord and all that is just, I don't have a lot of ambition right now. That's not to say that this is how it's going to be and deal with it. It's more, this is just how I'm feeling right now. Maybe in a month or so, I'll try to get back in the swing of things. But, at this time, I don't have the ambition. But, there's a lot of stuff I'd still like to do in terms of like my hobbies and YouTube and what have you, but it's getting back to that point. Right now, I kind of just want to take a break from things and, just focus on myself, doing what I enjoy doing and not so much, doing stuff because I have to. But I don't know, hopefully this video has cleared up some things for those that were wondering. I apologize for my inactivity online. Again, I just kind of want to take a break. But if you guys want to, feel free to leave comments. I'll try to respond to them. And those that want to reach out to me on like my Discord and such, or send me an email or what have you, feel free to do so. Again, I'll try to respond and get back to communicating with you guys again. Just, it's going to take a little while. But anyways, that's going to be it for this video. If you lasted this long, thanks for watching. I do apologize if it's been pretty rough cut, considering, nothing's been scripted or, no editing or anything like that. But I don't know. Anyways, again, thanks for watching. Thanks for your continued support and viewership. And I don't know, I'll catch you guys later.